Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Okay, so I stumbled upon a video that I don't think went viral enough, and so I want to give it a little bit of a signal boost here. But the video I'm going to show you and we're going to talk about today, I think is the perfect example of how deep the rot has gone. The American left has completely brainwashed a certain segment of the population into believing America is falling to fascism, and that they need to essentially LARP as woke superheroes coming in to protect the vulnerable, but in reality, what are they doing? They're protecting criminals. They've been fed so much propaganda about fascism and no due process and authoritarianism that now it seems they're physically throwing themselves in the way of federal law enforcement, simply trying to carry out a lawful arrest. What is happening here is not just stupid, it's freaking dangerous, and of course it's wrong, and it shows you exactly how far detached from reality these people who are soaking up all the leftist propaganda have become. I gotta show you guys this clip, and then we gotta talk about the details. But before we get into any of it, this video is actually brought to you guys by a sponsor, so let's play that clip. This video is brought to you by Ground News. Well, folks, we're once again in the Trump media landscape, and what does that mean? It means the media cartel is working overtime to twist the truth, create fake scandals. And during times like these, you need to stay ahead, and you need the right tools to stay informed. And that's exactly where Ground News comes in. Folks, Ground News is one of the best news aggregating websites in the business, and it's not just because they aggregate the news. No, it's really their tools and features that set them apart. And their flagship tool that everybody rants and raves about is their blind spot feature that does pretty much exactly what you'd expect. It exposes the partisan media blind spots. Take this story right here, for instance. Blue states are being linked to a whopping $400 million in unemployment fraud. And you know, we always got these leftoids claiming that fraud doesn't exist. Oh, Elon Musk hasn't found any fraud. Well, no wonder they think that. Zero left-wing sources have covered this story. And that's the beauty of Ground News. By simply using this website, well, nothing gets past you. Their platform brings all the coverage together, so you always see exactly what's going on and what's being reported on both sides. Folks, it's an absolutely great service. I cannot recommend it enough. And the cherry on top, here's the pitch. Thanks to our partnership with Ground News, we've got a massive exclusive deal just for you. Simply click the link down below, heading over to ground.news/hivemind, or scan the QR code on screen, and you can take advantage of this exclusive promotion, getting 40% off when you sign up for their Vantage plan. That's 40% off to cut through all the noise and the BS by adding Ground News to your information arsenal. A huge thank you to today's sponsor. Now back to the video. All right, folks, so I got a video here, and let me give you the backstory. So you got a bunch of young, typical liberal activists who attempt to physically get in the way of federal agents trying to arrest an illegal migrant. Take a look at this.
Excuse me, you cannot impede me on my lawful duties. That is a crime. Do you understand? Do not touch me or impede me in my lawful duties, ma'am. Do you understand? It is a crime for you to do so.
Why? Do you have a warrant for his arrest? Do you have a warrant for his arrest?
Yes.
Where?
Hey,
warrant?
grab him.
Warrant for his arrest. Warrant signed by a
Get
judge.
off me or I am calling the U.S. attorney and prosecuting you for assault on a federal officer.
Show us the warrant
Back
for his
up.
arrest. Show us a warrant signed by a judge.
Turn him around.
You don't have a warrant.
Sir.
Show us a warrant for his arrest.
We are officers with Homeland Security.
You don't have a warrant signed by a judge.
All right, Señor Dominguez. No se preocupe.
You don't have to. You,
No necesitas decirle nada, no necesitas decirle nada sin abogado. No firme nada sin abogado.
Are you ready? Yep. Let's go out, please.
So these individuals are getting in the way and physically trying to stop the officer from conducting his lawful activity. It seems almost as if this leftist social justice warrior LARPer has maybe watched a little bit too many TV shows and she's just getting in the way, screaming, "Show me your warrant, show me a warrant," as if it's some kind of magical shield against the law. But the thing is, you probably shouldn't try to impede a lawful arrest of a known illegal alien if you don't know a single thing about the law. ICE agents don't need a criminal warrant to arrest an illegal alien. Immigration violations are civil offenses, and ICE operates off of administrative warrants. They're different from criminal ones, and they don't need to go to a judge first. They can essentially issue their own administrative warrant and then go pick you up. And that's 100% legal. It's actually how immigration law has always worked, under every administration, including Bill Clinton's administration and Barack Obama's administration, which combined deported over 5 million illegal migrants, way more than President Bush and Donald Trump, by the way, but they're supposedly the fascists engaging in illegal mass deportations. It's totally ridiculous. In these cases, you do not need a criminal warrant. You don't need a piece of paper signed by a judge. In fact, Border Patrol doesn't even need a warrant if the individual was caught within 100 miles of the border. They have broad authority to stop, question, and detain based on immigration status alone. Yet here we are in 2025 with all these screeching little activists yelling about no warrant, no arrest.
Show us a warrant for his arrest.
And little do they know, they're completely and embarrassingly wrong. And actually, ironically enough, these leftoid activists, mostly left-wing white women, well, the reality is, by actively obstructing justice and protecting criminals, they're the ones actually committing a crime. But they can't seem to see that because they've been so deeply propagandized. These ICE agents aren't running rogue, picking random people up off the streets. They're arresting known violators, many times violent offenders, gang members, criminals with long rap sheets that the Democrats keep releasing back onto the streets. Yet here we have brain-dead activists throwing themselves in front of these officers as if they're the next diverse, pink-haired Marvel movie superhero. They've been deeply propagandized by the media and the Democrat Party. This is what happens when you tell emotional people that Trump's America is a fascist dictatorship where law enforcement is illegally kidnapping brown people. I mean, that's essentially the narrative that they've been fed. And now they're so brainwashed that they think stopping lawful federal arrest is a good thing. You are obstructing justice. Imagine being so deluded that you think these federal officers would be risking their lives, their careers, to arrest one single individual illegal migrant. Clearly that isn't the case. Clearly they have legal authority to be there. But this automatic assumption that these officers are acting unlawfully, it's insane. And clearly, even if you think that, you don't physically obstruct an active arrest. There's systems in place to hold people accountable. But clearly these people, as I'm stating, have been so deeply propagandized that they forgot they live in America. They forgot that they live in a first world country that basically sets the tone for human rights, a good legal system, separations of power, legal accountability. They live in the best, freest, one of the most lawful countries in the world, but for some reason, they've been convinced, their view has been totally distorted of the country that they live in, that they think the Gestapo is running around illegally arresting people. It's insane. But they actually believe this crap, just like they believe Donald Trump is acting outside of the law. He literally cannot. There's all kinds of checks and balances. And this notion that he's defying the law or defying court orders is utterly preposterous. The only evidence that they have is the whole thing with Kilmar Abrego Garcia, but as I've stated a million times, that court order was handed after the individual was already in El Salvador's custody. Too little, too late. Not to mention there's still debate surrounding that 9-0 Supreme Court decision. But anyways, the point is the system is working fine. The country hasn't fallen to fascism, and there's ways to go about this stuff. But these people are living in some alternate reality, and it's causing them to act ridiculous, and in this case, unlawfully. And what's even crazier is that it's not just these young liberal activists, it's even going up to the tippy top. I mean, basically, these young kids are doing exactly what Democrats in position of power are doing. They're doing the same thing that rogue judge, Hannah Dugan, did, attempting to help a violent illegal alien escape ICE agents. It's the same logic, the same brain-dead feelings over fact mentality, the same delusion of fascism. This is what leftist fake news, propaganda, and rhetoric has done to America. They've created a generation that clearly has zero respect for the law, ironically enough, and clearly no basic common sense or critical thinking skills. You wonder why trust in the system is collapsing. They caused it. They own it. By doing two things. By weaponizing the justice system against their opponents, and of course by simultaneously characterizing the justice system as the fascist Gestapo whenever Donald Trump's in power. It's absolutely reckless, and frankly, it's dangerously stupid. You leftist LARPers need a serious reality check. You are not heroes. You are not fighting fascism. You are simply useful idiots being emotionally manipulated by left-wing rhetoric. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.